What a difference a year makes. Last year, it took us about maybe 3 weeks, maybe even a month to get into the year before we got what we'd call a consequential major fight. This year, one could argue 2 to 3 days into the year, we get that. And that's pretty cool. It kind of almost reminds me of when, who was it? Gerald Washington versus Luis Ortiz, I think it was, fought randomly on pay per view to start the new year. And albeit we weren't probably a fan of the pay per view price point of that happening. And I want to say Luis Ortiz was on pay per view 2 times that year, which was kind of odd. It gets the year going, and it feels like the year has momentum. This week we got Amanda Serrano versus Reina Tellez. Good fight. We'll get into some of the topics. Now, I've gotten some feedback where people want me to preview paths to victory and expand upon this. So the way that this is going to be in the new year, barring some videos I'd made previously, just for housekeeping, I'm going to give keys to victory for both fighters. I'm going to outline some storylines and then lay down some context just to help with watching the fight. So Amanda Serrano, one of the most relevant women's boxers in modern boxing history, held titles in so many divisions that I actually have to research it. Now she's going back to what I think is deemed one of her more comfortable weights, which is the featherweight division. She was going to rematch Erica Cruz. Now, for me, there's a historical context moment that needs to be added to this fight. What is that, Lukie? That is, in the second Katie Taylor fight, Serrano suffered a cut. That cut, I believe, impacted the third fight because she wasn't as aggressive in that fight. And I think that she thought about, well, if I go in, will I have a cut? Will there be head clashes, etc.? How does that factor into this last part of her career? Because I feel like for both Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, they're getting close to the end of their careers. And because they're such fun fighters and historically relevant fighters, people are not really realizing how close to the end it is for both fighters. So I think that's one thing to pay attention to. Tellez is a developmental fighter, good amateur, someone that's been building their record up, but really gets an opportunity on late notice when Erica Cruz had some sort of, and I'm no drug testing expert, there was some sort of finding, what I believe was deemed an atypical finding of a test. Cruz's team debates the validity of this test and thinks that she should be in the fight, but because there was an atypical or a strange finding in a pre-fight drug test, the opponent got changed. And now it's Reina Tellez, a decorated amateur who's taking a step up in competition. So that sets the stage for it, because I think the Cruz fight, the original fight, the rematch, was going to be a hard fight for Serrano based on she would probably suffer another head clash, and that would be a rough go at things. So for Amanda Serrano, I think the big thing in this fight is she has fought on these stages, if not bigger stages. So instead of overthinking things, she's lived in the moment. She's been in these positions. And I think the big thing for her is to fight the fight that she's trained for, to stay composed, maybe dominate early on to get Tellez kind of wondering what this is like, and to win a one-sided bout or just kind of separate and maybe show a good young fighter that there is a level that she hasn't quite fought yet, but she gets this opportunity to experience that. For Tellez, I think that the keys to her victory partially are based on her style, but another thing for her is she has to hope that Serrano's getting a little bit older and that there really was some damage, some scar tissue. And to her great strength in this fight is going to have to be reading situations, situational awareness, and seeing if Serrano has any doubt, if Serrano has lost a step, and for her to find a way to fight at a younger person's pace, to pick up the volume, to make her fight when maybe Serrano doesn't want to fight, that is going to be very key for Reina Tellez to win this bout. It's an exciting fight, and we start off the year pretty darn well. It's a pretty exciting bout to start 2026. So I'm excited. Let me know in the comments what you think of this preview prediction. If you like this style, subscribe to the channel. Every week we've got boxing content, including previews, reactions, live podcasts, and then editorial thoughts after big fights. This is Lukie, and we will be right back.